Right, so welcome back to another one of my videos. We are back. This video is filmed in 2 parts almost. The first part was filmed months and months ago, and then I'm not gonna lie, it got a bit cold in here. So I basically gave up, and now we are back again. Here are my parts. We've got the top piece, the bottom piece, and then I've got some pins to connect them together. I only need this part because we're unscrewing this plate underneath here. Okay, I have just taken off everything that I needed to put the bottom plate on, so this one. So this should then just bolt onto that. I don't know if my screws will fit, I might need longer ones. That's how that bolts on, so let's try and do that somehow. The top jaw is now on, you can kind of see his teeth. Looks cool. I'm going to put these sidebars back on again now. We now have everything sort of assembled. The eyes sort of come out of its socket a bit here, but that's okay. Everything is sort of assembled. I just need to now do this bottom jaw, which can go here. And to hold these on, I've got these little pins that I've made. It doesn't want to open completely because these bolts are too long, which is annoying, but to be fair, the mouth doesn't really need to move open much more than that, so it's not the end of the world. So in here at the bottom you can see there is room for a servo. Luckily I have a servo which I've cut the ends off just so it fits perfectly. It's going to be a tight squeeze, but I'm going to try and get that in there. I'm a little bit worried because there doesn't seem to be a lot of motion going on with the servo. It doesn't seem to be able to move so much, so I'm going to plug it in and do my usual test. We are back after a while, quite a while actually, to be fair. It's been quite a long time. It's been like 4 months from last time that I touched the animatronic, and from what I remember, the jaw didn't work properly. There wasn't enough movement, and I can't remember what else, to be honest. But anyway, so I've redesigned it, and hopefully now it works. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dismantle the old animatronic, and then we're going to refit the new one, and hopefully that works. One thing you probably noticed is that I'm filming in a different place. It's just that's not by choice, it's just I happen to be filming somewhere else. Anyway, this is the version that you last saw. The only difference is I've labelled the pins so I remember which ones go in where. I've taken the servo out of here, but this was the old design, and the servo basically controls this piece to move it back and forth. It doesn't work at all, to be honest with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew this all, and then I will then basically show you this piece to the new piece. It is now very disassembled. The perks of my new design is that when it comes to removing the jaw piece, I don't have to take apart literally everything. We're going to take this, oh I can't take this out of the way. This is the mouthpiece which I'm going to remove, and now I will take this out of the way. This is the old mouthpiece which you would have seen me install 4 months ago. Servo sits in here, and then that then connects to this bar here. Pull this, open and closed. Problems with this design is, one, it can only open that far. Also, where the servo sits, it means that it can't move it as well, and it kept disconnecting. So what I've done is I've redesigned this piece to this one. They look quite similar, but also they're very different. For example, the bottoms. So now it is connected by the 2 servos, which are manually connected to the mouth. It can open a hell of a lot wider. We also have clearance here, and then also the servos then poke out the back. Not only that, but it's also at the top, the old one, there's 4 bolts, which means these 2 are a pain in the ass to get to, because I have to take out the servos, the eyes, just to unscrew these 2 bolts. But I've taken them out on here because of the fact that there's not really a whole lot of clearance for these servos on both sides, so it can't actually, you know, I can't screw it and unscrew it as easily. It's the new one, so let's put it on. We have wired it all up. It's all here, as you can see. Now what I've done is I've wired up only this servo, because this one needs tightening up. The mouse is a little bit loose, I might tighten up a bit more, to the receiver, which I control with this remote control. But let me just tighten that up real quick. I'm just going to turn it on. Cool, so that's the sequence that it was running last time. And now I'm going to turn on the mouth servos. Well, I should now be able to control it. Hello. So yeah, just controlling it with that on. Cool. It works absolutely beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. I am so glad. I'm not very good at puppetry. Right, that is, I will call that a good success. Fantastic. Thank you for sitting through all of this video. I apologise how long it's been and where I have been. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. There will be a new one coming soon. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you all later.